Welcome back to NBA Today.
San Antonio Spurs star Victor Wembanyama will be out for the remainder of the season.
The Spurs found this blood clot in his right shoulder.
Victor Wembanyama says he's officially been cleared to return.
Wembanyama! Oh, it's a dunk contest!
Get out of the way. When I think about this young man, he wants to win right now.
On the court, Wemby is a once-in-a-generation talent, and off it, his summer, it turned into a highlight reel of its own. From the big ticket to the dream, Wemby spent his summer studying with legends who know exactly how to dominate the paint, but it wasn't all sweat and hard work, right? The Spurs star also found some time, kicked it with Snoop. He even found a moment with Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe, and Tina Fey. And while Wemby's summer may have started with grounding himself with monks in China, he went from meditating to moonwalking. Living up to that nickname, the alien, he checked out NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston last week. What's the most impressive part of his summer here, Rich?
For me, I can't believe we didn't add him bending that kick in. Do you see the goal?
Yeah,
that goal that he had?
That was
like,
excellent.
What the hell?
I know we're all just we're just happy to have him back on the floor.
No, we are. Look, he's one of those players that you don't get very often, that his talent, his ability, also his personality, his want to do that. I love Jokic. He is one of the great basketball players of all time, but his personality is more of like he wants to be there. And we've had other...
He wants to hang with the horses.
There's other players in history that have been like that. Victor Wembanyama is one of those players that will grow the game of basketball. So you appreciate that for him. So I love all of this, but now it comes back to getting it done on the court, and I'm excited to see what the Spurs have done this year.
No one has covered him more closely than our Brian Windhorst. It's year 3 for Wemby, and the question is, what do you think, Brian, the Spurs need around their superstar to truly become the powerhouse that we're waiting for? We know it's going to happen eventually, but this is still a very young team that frankly hasn't played that many games together.
Yeah, Malika, that's why I would say that they need experience, you know, because they've kind of got two different teams. They've got some veterans on their roster, but, you know, with Dylan Harper, who is their top number 2 overall pick, he's already got a wrist injury. Unfortunately, he's going to miss some time, maybe almost all the preseason. You know, with him and Stephon Castle, you're looking at committing to playing 2 very young guards. And if you're talking about the recipe for winning in the NBA, it's not playing young guards. Now, De'Aaron Fox, obviously, they committed to him hugely. They do have other veterans on their roster like Devin Vassell and Harrison Barnes, etc. But to me, they're going to maybe have to walk the line a little bit between developing their young guys who they've drafted to put next to Victor and whether they want to actually win in a very highly competitive Western Conference.
And Wendy, what I love about your reporting and you just being there everywhere Wemby is the fact that we have seen the rivalry between him and Chet. And when I think about the development of this team, the Spurs, it's very much could parallel the Oklahoma City Thunder, winning through the draft, getting star talent, securing them over the long term. But even more so, what excited me the most this summer was obviously him training with Hakeem, because a select few players have the ability and the opportunity to go with the dream. And, you know, at times I read about it with LeBron or even Giannis spending time in Houston, which, by the way, I was like, please come on down. But it's all right.
Kevin Durant.
We got Kitty. Hey, I ain't mad at that. But the fact that, like, when you see greatness, right, on the court, we sometimes feel like that's what they do all day, every day. You have to sort of open your mind. You know that, Richard. You need breaks from the game. And I believe that he found different avenues. I don't know what Snoop...
That was the fun part of the summer.
What's his bars look like? Like, you know what I mean? But it's just like opening your mind to different avenues of greatness to keep you
Snoop
sharp.
opened his mind, I bet.
Oh my God.
Janae, you just, Brian, help me get back on track here. The only thing I'm looking at here, it's not these 3 with San Antonio. It is someone like De'Aaron Fox and Victor. They've only played, 5 games together, and now you're talking about this Dylan Harper injury. We could maybe be seeing a little bit of a slow start here for the San Antonio Spurs. Nope.
Yeah, so the big thing with the Spurs is they've got 3 guards with Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, and De'Aaron Fox, and they're going to want to play all 3. They value those 3 guys. In fact, Kevin Durant had the Spurs on his trade list, and the Spurs were like, look, we are not doing this if we're going to have to give up any of these assets. Either it's the pick that became Dylan Harper or Stephon Castle. So the question to me is, how do they play those guards? Because I think they owe it to themselves to play those young guys, but obviously they gave De'Aaron Fox a max contract because they see him as the running mate to Victor going forward. So, look, I'm a big believer in the Spurs' future. I'm not sure I'm sold that this is the year they leap into the top 6. But, hey, you know I've got a rule. And I'm bringing it back this September. No ceilings on Victor Wembanyama. Let's bring it back.
The one thing I will say this, if you were to ask me which one they were going to prioritize, I think they would prioritize winning. If you look at some of these other teams, you can prioritize your young players, but young players also have to earn the right to be on the court. We're not going to give you 30 minutes, and if we lose, we lose. We're going to give you 20 minutes, and if you can earn that time, because we got all-stars, future all-stars that are trying to win. So we're not going to just jeopardize our whole season to give you an extra 5-10 minutes and lose an extra 10 games. You have to earn that, which can be great for young players.
Right. Let's head to the FIBA EuroBasket quarterfinals. They tipped off.
Thank God.
Alper and Şengün in Turkey. They have looked great, taking on Poland this morning. Şengün, 19 points, 12 boards, assists in a 91-77 win. This team already beat Jokic in Serbia earlier in the tournament. Turkey advances to the semifinals. Here's Şengün on that triple-double.
That's who I am. I'm a team player, so I'm going to do whatever it takes to win. So, you know, if it's defense day, offense day, so I don't care. Whatever you tell me, I do. It didn't mean anything if we would have lost today and I got the triple-double. So I'm happy we won, and I give my everything, and defense and offense, so I'm just happy.
So Turkey plays the winner of this one next. Giannis and Greece facing Lithuania. Giannis has 25 points, 4 rebounds, 4 steals, and counting in this game. There's still a couple of seconds left here, but it's looking like Greece is going to hang on for the semifinals game on Friday to face Turkey. So then on the other side of the bracket, Luka Doncic and Slovenia will face tourney favorites Germany and Lauri Markkanen, and Finland, they take on Georgia. So we've seen some really high-level basketball coming out of the EuroBasket. Brian, I'm going to start with you here. What do you think is going to translate into NBA success here?
Well, look, Giannis is absolutely dominating this tournament. He and Luka are putting up big numbers, but we know that Luka and Giannis are great. What I think is more relevant to the NBA this season is the leadership that we're seeing from Alper and Şengün. Triple-doubles do not happen in international basketball. It's a 40-minute game. It's a slower game. Getting a triple-double like he did today in an elimination game is one of the best performances of his career. I'm not even kidding. I know the competition wasn't what he's going to see in the NBA night in and night out, but they rely on him like Jokic. And by the way, he beat Jokic in Serbia in this tournament. The other player to watch, Lauri Markkanen from Finland. Finland plays tomorrow in the quarterfinals. Markkanen is one of the leading scorers in this tournament, 26 points a game. He had 29 points in the round of 16 victory. His play with the Finnish national team a couple of years ago, when he came to Utah after that, it springboarded him into his all-star berth. Potentially this summer of great play with Finland, who's already pulled some big upsets, knocking out Serbia out of the tournament in the last round. That could potentially springboard him when he gets to the Jazz this summer, after this summer as well.
You should have seen when you said Alper and Şengün, Sinead goes, yes, when you're off camera. But he's the youngest player with a triple-double in EuroBasket history here, Sinead.
Yeah, likely, as you mentioned, potentially Greece, Turkey, right, to collide, right? That front court matchup is going to be fantastic going up against Giannis, a huge test. But I'm looking at Alper and Şengün, and as Wendy said, that next step for stardom, because what really hurt him was in the postseason. Draymond Green was a little bit of his kryptonite, and he wasn't able to cook the way that we all expected him to. And I think he used that as motivation to continue to get better. I mean, you guys know I follow the Houston Rockets Instagram. So, yeah, I saw the behind-the-back passes. I see his leadership. It's been a great tournament for him so far.
The rest of us are all logged on to Tim Bontemps' credentials to be able to watch.
But I will say this. Can I just say this? I'm excited about the Houston Rockets front court.
Yep.
Because Thompson, Clint Capella being back, you already have Steven Adams re-signed, and then Şengün taking the next step. We might be talking about them having some of the best bigs in the league.
We need to get to Luka Doncic, right? We've talked about the EuroBasket here for a couple of minutes and haven't mentioned his name. Slovenia will be a double-digit underdog against Germany tomorrow. But, Brian, what kind of chance does Luka have to pull off the upset? He has been playing some incredible basketball.
I can't believe the Slovenians are this far. There is nobody else on the Slovenian team that is even in the Euro League. With all due respect to them, that would be like Luka walking in to play NBA games with all G Leaguers, essentially, and winning. He has been absolutely dominant. He crushed the Italians in the round of 16. He has taken Slovenia to some incredible heights so far in his international career. If he is able to, forget about winning this tournament, if he's able to reach the final, it would be one of the great performances we've seen in modern international basketball. But I expect tomorrow the Germans to double team him very aggressively. Italy did in the second half. He's been great. His new conditioning is showing off. He's been amazing, but it's a tall order against the defending World Cup champion German.
Look, I'm going to side a little bit. When you look at the opportunities that some of the young Europeans are getting to play during the summer, getting the opportunity to train, being in high-level games, we talk about Şengün being in this position. There are other 23-year-old, American players that don't get this development during the summer. So when we talk about the development of American players, American MVPs, look at what's going on in Europe right now. Our guys are over there doing, they're doing UCLA runs. They're playing pickup games. And I'm not saying that's competitive, but if you look at that year-over-year growth of these young players being in competitive games, that's when you're starting to see the gap of American basketball versus European players. It continues even on the professional level.
Well, these guys are hoopers. Luka, to stay in shape, he's not running the track. He wants to hoop. Sanguini is a hooper, and Giannis is a hooper.
Was that on purpose?
Sanguini? Oh, yeah. That's what I call it. That's my nickname for him.
That's going to do it for us here on NBA Today. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon with us and Richard Jefferson. We will see you tomorrow.
NBA